Hello, I'm Sugata from Vaughan Public Libraries. We are here today to interview Mr. Noor, CEO of Human Endeavor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sugata.
Human Endeavor is a meaningful name and concept when we think of immigration or new settlement in a new country. Can you please briefly describe the kind of work involved here?
So, Sugata, I think I will start with what the philosophy of human endeavor is.
Sure.
Right? And it is about how we are building a strong community that trusts each other, that loves each other. And we call it building social capital in the community. And then after social capital, we focus also on improving what we call social determinants of health, like the things that the way people live, what their conditions are. Sometime when you talked about newcomers, they come, they need certain things that impact their health or well-being. So those needs to get focused first, right?
Wonderful.
And then comes the services part, that what services somebody needs, right? So we take a 3-level of approach to really help the communities, those who need some services. They could be newcomers, they could be refugees, they could be seniors, they could be other low-income community members at large.
Wonderful, wonderful.
If you want to know what particular services we offer, so we offer services which are social health and wellness program for seniors. Then we also offer what we call settlement services. We also offer services, what we call community building services, social and economic inclusion. There are various programs. We have trainings for newcomers, people who are in colleges, school, universities, mean younger generation, work experience for them, right? And then we are also heavily involved with research that takes the impact of our programs and take it to universities, educational institutes, other organizations to demonstrate how the community-based programs work in the community and what the impact and benefit of them is.
Sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
So my next question to you is when or how was your first thought of making this venture happen?
Okay, so there are multiple things, right? It's not just single thing which I'm originally from Pakistan, right? And the issue in Pakistan or India or in many other parts of the world always is parents or society decides what are the main careers that people should do. Like Pakistan, it was either you become a doctor or an engineer, that means you are successful and parents wants to see you there. But in reality, kids have not explored themselves what they want to do. So that was definitely one factor. I always wanted to do something different, but of course I was an engineer by profession. Then I moved to Canada as a refugee, and then I, of course, stayed in my own engineering field because you need to get settled here, right?
Absolutely.
And then, of course, this notion of that we should do, and then I think I will go back with my personal experiences as a newcomer, as a refugee, also seeing the situation of many other newcomers or seniors, right? That kind of forced me more into that when I think of doing something else, I should. And I think the last thing that really forced me to establish Human Endeavor was I moved to City of Vaughan in 2002, late 2002, and my mother was alive and living with me at that time. So in Toronto, we used to live in a community building where everybody was from Pakistan. So she had no challenges there in terms of settling herself,
language
right?
and everything.
Language, friends. But when we came to City of Vaughan, there was literally nobody on our street who was speaking even her language.
I see.
And she said, okay, I want to go back to my building in Toronto. So that's when we start thinking about,
Okay.
And that's really led to the establishment of Human Endeavor. And in fact, our first program was Seniors Wellness Program in City of Vaughan that we started to help her and other seniors of the same situation who were isolated, who didn't have the community support with them.
That's a
So that's how we
really
started.
wonderful story.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful story. So now that you say that you were an engineer in your home country and then you started this later on. So if I can ask, what was the biggest challenge for you in terms of changing your career and establishing a venture which is completely out of your comfort zone for so many years that you had practiced?
Of course, there were challenges, but since I always was looking into doing something meaningful for the community and society, and also, again, there was a desire to do something different. So I think I was mentally ready to take the challenge. Plus, engineering told me or taught me about entrepreneurship, where you start from things from scratch and you build something, right? So I have always stayed in large as well as smaller companies.
Okay.
So my experiences of working with these startups and everything gave me that confidence that if I start something, I will be successful. But again, I end up picking a non-profit sector.
Yes.
That really where my focus became eventually, even though we started as a small project, but then need was so strong that I became more and more involved. And so I don't think that was the challenge at all on my side from switching career. Of course, there were financial implications, there were many others, but I think, I don't know if the question comes later as well. What biggest challenge in non-profit, what I find is I cannot move as fast
Yes.
as I want to do, because here I'm dependent on funding,
Grants, etc.
grants, other things. So that's, I think, is my biggest challenge, that I feel that the way Human Endeavor wants to work, the pace that we want to make meaningful change in people's life,
Yes.
that's very limited, because there are many projects on our mind where it's pretty impossible to do anything. Plus, I think we have done things more in a non-traditional way, because I'm not a traditional non-profit person, nor I'm trained that way.
Okay.
My life has been, as an engineer, finding quick solutions to things.
Sure.
That's what I want to apply. And if I can be more specific, we use the word, or my experience of innovation
Okay.
in technology. We bring it here. Many times what happens is when an innovative project, or which is non-traditional, is brought to funders, or it's not accepted, even though it's needed in the community.
Okay.
It's people are not there to understand why we are bringing that kind of non-traditional approach. So these are some of the challenges that I have found in the non-profit sector.
That's a great answer, very good explanation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So now that we understand the background and your, like, it was a noble attitude and a desire to do something for the community, if I can ask that, it takes a lot of effort to set up an establishment like this. So how much support do you think you got from any professional front or your personal front?
I think I'm lucky in that sense, because otherwise it would have been really difficult, since I didn't have the background in social services. I think professionally I can pick a number of organizations who really facilitated Human Endeavor's establishment and support. City of Vaughan, I would definitely say, is a very fertile ground for new startups and those kind of things. And I will thank City of Vaughan's staff in particular, and the politicians. They always, from the beginning, there was literally no red tape. It was, okay, somebody wants to do something for the community, and everybody was there to help. So definitely. Many
good.
non-profit organizations like CHATS, like Punjabi Community Health Services, they did support us at the beginning, being a startup serving South Asian community at the beginning. So the collaborative efforts that took place, that did build our capacity from the beginning to help our community. So I do attribute our success to a lot of the professional help that we got from our partners. And then on the family side, of course, my wife, she is a volunteer full-time from the day one with Human Endeavor, and kids as well. Of course, the change happened and financially things change,
Yes.
but everyone on the family as well always supported me
Beautiful.
with full
that's
strength to what I wanted to do. And I think this is the biggest change in my life as well, which is very satisfying compared to just earning money. Here, if you have ever experienced the social capital that we have built and how people trust each other and trust us, and how we have created social connection, how we have stayed together during COVID, like how the community has stayed together, I think that's just amazing.
So my next question to you is, we know of Human Endeavor as a very successful organization. How would you rate its success, and if there's any immediate plans you have for further expansion? So two parts to this.
So the success is, of course, every person defines success in a different manner, right? For me, the biggest success of Human Endeavor is the impact that it had in the community. How the people who are not connected got connected. How we have built such a strong community that where the trust factor among various nationality, various age groups is exemplary. It has been captured many times by funders and by research as well. So I think the biggest success of Human Endeavor is what it has created as a community that flourishes, that supports each other, and now many of our community members, they are helping other people. So this is what we call people sort of assisted services, or people assisted support with each other, because that's the most important things. Once you have friends, you have social circle, you're connected in the community, and you trust your neighbors, it becomes very easy for you to adjust somewhere. So I think that's the biggest success, what I will say, of Human Endeavor. That people recognize, we can see the change in people's lives. They know somebody cares for them, and somebody will do whatever is needed for them at whatever level is humanly possible. We are going to do that. And that's just not Human Endeavor. Like in general, I think every staff member is thoroughly sort of respected with their community members. We don't use the word clients too much. It's more, if you ever talk to anybody who has received some services from Human Endeavor or Engage, they will always talk about a bigger family. They will talk about a family that's very diverse. That's how we have built Human Endeavor. That's how we have
so it's a very close-knit concept.
It's very close-knit concept, which is very diverse. So we have diverse nationalities, right?
Yes.
That we serve. So just to give you an example, a month ago or so, we celebrated, maybe 6 weeks ago, Eid, which is one of the Muslim festivals. And we had our Italian senior friends there. We had people from India, from Pakistan, from Sri Lanka, Muslim community, others. So they all enjoyed the festivities and the purpose behind, or the meaning behind. And that's really the community we live in, that Human Endeavor has established.
Everything sounds wonderful, and thank you very much, sir, for this meaningful insight into your company, how it works. We got a clear idea of how it functions, how it's beneficial to our community. And at the end, I would like to thank you very, very much for your time. And it was a wonderful morning spent with you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.